Afternoon folks, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the third of this week's videos where I review yet another scenery. We are in Bosnia Herzegovina in Eastern Europe, and you're looking at BANJA LUKA International Airport, Lima, Quebec, Bravo, Kilo. This is a new payware scenery from Orbx, and you're looking at version 1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. Now there is quite a good freeware version on flightsim.to, but this version is quite cheap, comes in at quite a lot of detail actually, and we'll go into that in a minute. The download is 693 meg and it installs at 1.35 gigs, as I said, currently available only from Orbx. Now the price, this is €9.09, which equates to roughly $9.84 US, or £7.76 UK. And just to let you know, those prices are estimates taken from the Australian dollar, and they do not include tax or VAT, which of course you must add and which may vary depending on your country of purchase, but still not an awful lot to pay for a scenery product, and if I might be so bold as to say, not a lot to pay for a product of this quality. This is a small airport with a single runway, and it doesn't look like it has much to it, but you'd be wrong in that assumption. The developer has modelled the airport in every detail. He's also taken the trouble to do the military area, complete with aircraft that you'll see here, and he's also terraformed the whole place and added various farms that exist around the airport to basically improve the realism factor. So quite a lot's been done here for what I perceive to be quite a small price. But it's a really nice airport. But let's look at the features. So features, we have highly detailed airport with 3D interior and passengers. We've got the ATC tower, or the control tower with the interior, hangar and ground service vehicles, garage modelled with the interior, custom made parallax textures, accurate parking positions, latest airport layout and nav aids. And I looked at this because Wikipedia has actually got the runways wrong. They're showing 17, but it's actually 1634. You've got accurate runway profile, hand-placed approach lighting systems, detailed modelling of the ex-army base, vegetation correction for realistic tree size, custom modelling of local family farms for better immersion, and the terraforming of the airport perimeter, including the drainage canals. So quite a bit's been done, and even here from this sort of shot here you're looking at a very, very nice airport, beautifully sitting within the terrain, and actually full instrument equipped. We'll go into the runways in a minute, but you know, you've got lots of landing options here. And from the outset when I looked at this, I thought to myself, what a nice job that's been done on this airport. So if you want the best, and personally I think it is better than the freeware, although the freeware is really good if you want that airport and you don't want to buy one. But for payware, for the measly price this is being offered at, it's fantastic. So let's start with some history. So, history for you then. BANJA LUKA International Airport, Lima, Quebec, Bravo, Kilo, also known as Mahovjelani Airport, after the nearby village of the same name, is a public-use international airport owned by the Bosnia and Herzegovina Directorate of Civil Aviation and is managed by the government-owned company Aerodromi Republike Srpska. I hope I said that correctly. The airport is located 11 miles or 18 kilometers north-northwest of the railway station in the city of Banja Luka, the second largest city in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Construction of the airport began in 1976. In the beginning, the airport was built with the restrictions for domestic flight operations only for air traffic in the territory of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. After the Bosnian War, Republika Srpska was established with Banja Luka as the de facto capital. This gave Banja Luka Airport new importance and a completely different role. The airport was opened for civilian air traffic in November 1997. From 1999 to 2003, the airport served as the main hub for Air Srpska, the official flag carrier of the Republika Srpska. The company was founded by JAT Airways and the government of Republika Srpska The company ceased all operations, unfortunately, in 2003 after increasing debt and the withdrawal of JAT Airways from the partnership. There were plans for Sky Skorupska, a state-owned airline founded in 2007, to start flights. However, the airline, which never had any aircraft, was closed down in 2013. However, the airport's facilities were greatly improved in 2002 and 2003 ahead of the visit by Pope John Paul II to Banja Luka in June 2003. On the 15th of December 2010, to celebrate the abolition of visa requirements for Bosnian citizens travelling to the Schengen area countries, a symbolic charter flight was organised from Banja Luka to Brussels. In 2011, Banja Luka Airport handled over 8,000 passengers. Over the years, the airport has had flights connecting Banja Luka to Athens, Belgrade, Copenhagen, Frankfurt, Ljubljana, Salzburg, Tivat and Vienna. Austrian Airlines and Montenegro Airlines served Banja Luka during the late 1990s and early 2000s from their respective bases in Vienna and Tivat. Since Air Skorupska ceased operations, the government of Republic Skorupska has tried to attract new airlines to fly to Banja Luka through various subsidiaries. Subsidised flights including JAT Airways flights to Belgrade between November 2007 and December 2009 operated using an ATR 72, Ostrojet flights to Salzburg and Tivat between July and December 2008 operated 3 times a week with Dash 8 100s, and Adria Airways flights to Ljubljana between July 2010 and November 2011 operated 4 times a week with a CRJ 200. B&H Airlines operated flights to Zurich for many years until that airline went out of business in June 2015. Currently, some 8 airlines operate into and out of Banja Luka, including Ryanair, which has an established base, Air Serbia, Wizz Air and Air Cairo. So there you go, folks, some history for you. This airport's been around a while. It's gone through certain stages of development, but now it's an international airport in its own right. So now let's take a look at the runway situation. So runways, and as you can see, once again I've lowered the lighting. I was once asked why I do this, and I generally do this to show off the runway lighting a lot better. It's easier to see in the low light. So it's 5:15 in the late afternoon. It's late February 2024, and here we are looking down the throat of runway 16. So Banja Luka operates a single runway 1634, measuring 8,202 feet, or 2,500 meters, and it's made from an asphalt concrete mix. The airport lies at an elevation of 401 feet, or 122 meters, and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now, Bosnia and Herzegovina does indeed observe daylight saving time, which is not currently in operation, so the airport remains 1 hour ahead of the UK at the moment. So runway 16 then, we'll start with that. Features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. Now that's all correct, even at this far distance you can see the high intensity lighting. There's the centerline, PAPI's on the left. Now these approach lights are not lit, I'm not sure why. They are listed on the chart, you can see them on the chart, but there's no indication as to whether they're lit up or not. So you know, we are getting reasonably dark now and I can't see any lighting on here, so I'm not certain whether these actually light up or whether it's just maybe a small fault in the scenery, I don't know. So approach options for runway 16, you have a standard instrument landing system with Y and Z options and VOR approach as well. So this appears to be the main landing runway generally, and you can see the main parking area for the civilian traffic is up here at the other end. Let's have a look at the other end, runway 34. So here we're out at the other end, this is runway 34. Again, you have the high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting. You also have listed here an airfield lighting system, which is this here. And again, precision approach path indicators on the left side. And once again, these don't seem to be lit. Let's just drop it down to night time and see whether they come up. Okay, 7:10 in the evening, just quickly drop this down to darkness and you can see they do indeed come up. They're not as bright as we might expect, but they do indeed come up. And while we're here, let's check out the other end, runway 16, and see if that happens as well. So here we are back at the start of runway 16, and as you can see they do light up. So obviously it was a case of I didn't go dark enough. But there you go, that does it. So before we leave, approach options for runway 34, the other end, you have RNP approach option only. So the ILS is at this end, runway 16 only, with a VOR approach, and at the other end you have only RNP. But I'd venture to say you've got enough options there to get into either runway should it be necessary. So there you go, that's the runway situation. No jetways at this airport, so let's go back to daytime and let's have a close look round the airport ramp and that terminal area first. Okay, so here we are on the main ramp in the civilian terminal area at the southern end, and here's an overview for you showing you the way it looks. So it's really good. You've got for the first time that I've seen in many sceneries I've reviewed recently, we've actually got ramp staff going around, and this is a good thing. I like to see more of this. You know, some sceneries have them, many sceneries you barely get maybe one engineer walking around, but it's good to see some sort of life going on here on the ramp. So as you can see, ramp textures are good. This is the concrete part, which also leads into the runway. Look at that later. And you've got various hangars. There's the fire station, all sorts of bits of clutter. And it's a lovely scene, and the tower's been done as well. I mean, it all looks pretty impressive. So there's another view. Here's the terminal here. The control tower has the appropriate lighting on the top, which again is a legal requirement. Good to see it's been put into the scenery. And here you can see the concrete asphalt mix on the runway, which again is faithfully recreated. It's really good to see this properly done. So you've got windsock there. So let's get a close-up look at the terminal. So here we are looking at the terminal from airside. Here we've got one ramp guy standing around there, which is good. And I like this. Look at the detail. You've got the two lamps, you've got the airport name beautifully done, and also you've got the antenna on the top. And here I believe you've got security check, and all of the signage is all faithfully done. It's brilliant. It really is good. I'm tempted to go straight inside, but we want to look at the ramp first. So here's the station. You've got fire engines in there, all sorts of various ramp clutter. All really nicely modelled, I might add. They look really good. Here you can see evidence of weathering down here, which they've done on the vehicles. And the models are good. They're accurate. They're not sort of low res. They're really nicely done, and the building is too. Take a close-up look at the building. All sorts of clutter sitting in there. And here you can see evidence of interior modelling, complete with you've got the forklift and the various cargo bins. And here we're up close and you can still see the detail. So this is all done at a decent resolution. Some stunning really weathering on the inside of the hangar here. Really good. There's a quick look at the side of the terminal building. Again, you've got various ramp staff. Great to see you've got the baggage thing here, look, and the guy with the baggage trucks. Here you've got shades that are half down and half up. I mean, this is a nice atmospheric little airport. You got a close look at some of the vehicles there. This I haven't seen this before. This is obviously this is one of these cleaning trucks that sweeps up the ramp. You see them at many airports. I've seen them all the time at Gatwick when I work there. But this I think is the first time I've seen one in the scenery. So kudos for that. And more buildings and cargo bins, bits and pieces all over here. Again, nicely modelled and weathered. And again, it reflects the real world. You can see this building in some of the images I've looked at. So judging by the look of this building, certainly the interior, which has been modelled, and the fact that you've got flags there, I would suspect this might be a VIP terminal or a fixed base operator of some sorts. But again, nicely done. And here's a quick look inside. You've even got the water cooler there. So excellent. Here's the big hangar we saw, and again some nice interior modelling. Quite sparse, but it's just really no more than what you needed. You can actually park an aircraft in here. Some good weathering. There you've got an engineer guy working there too. Okay, so some close-up shots landside, and you can see the attention to detail landside is every bit as good as it has been airside. Some nicely modelled buildings. And here you can see some parked cars. I mean, they're not the greatest modelled in the world, but they're perfectly acceptable. And again, you've got the airside landside fence correctly done, as indeed it should be. 2.9 meters high with the crank neck facing outwards, razor wire on top. That's ICAO regulations. And here the building as well, you've got some wonderful weathering on it. It's really good. And here the whole scene looks great. Let's get a close-up near the terminal. So here's landside of the terminal. We've got a couple of people there, the fixed static people. A very nice tour bus there as well. And there's the name of the airport in Bosnian or Serbian. Ground markings are excellent. They've not been left to photo real. They've been properly done. It's great. It's really good. And here, looking in the other direction, you know, more people here in the car park. Some nice cars properly parked, and again proper marked zones and signage. It looks great. And here just a quick look close up at some of the signs, and as you can see they're still very clear. Even up close they've been properly done at a decent resolution. Very, very good. And this is the other side of the car park. Again, it looks perfectly natural. And here we are looking at the other end of that car park. There you can see the barrier, and again various signs and advertising hoardings and little buildings like the control gate here. It's all really nicely done. Very, very nice indeed. And there's a road going out of the airport, and we've got a bus there coming in. There's the control tower building on the left. You've got various cars parked on the grass there. You might think that that's wrong, but actually if you look here, there's a parking sign. So this is a legitimate parking area, and again they're properly parked. So here's the control tower building, and this is the control tower car parking area. There's the control gate. It all looks great, it really does. So there's a high level shot showing you the road going all the way out there, which has been nicely 3D modelled all the way down to quite a significant distance. And here you've got some off-airport bits and pieces. This I think is the fuel dump, because you've got tankers here. So before we visit the control tower, let's get into the terminal and check it out. So here's a close-up view from outside, and here you can see the internal part of the terminal through the glass and through the main door, which is open. And you've got this outside little restaurant type seating area here, which is lovely. So here's the inside of the terminal. It's lovely, very, very nicely modelled. Got a couple of figures, a very nice young lady in a short skirt over there. Here's your departure signs. This is Avis car rental. Very nice. And again, just to show you how detailed this place is, here's the cash machine right up close, and yeah, again it's lovely, it's brilliant. So here we're looking into departures, and as you can see security has been fully modelled. Let's pop in. So these are probably the most detailed security X-ray op machines and archways I've seen for a while. They're really detailed. They actually remind me of the rapid scans we use when I was at Heathrow and Gatwick, and these are pretty much the same. And we've even got a police officer come operator here, which is good. And after security we've got passport control, nobody there at the moment, and we've got this lady going through. And here we've got our first look at the airside departure lounge. Nice to see that there, nice to have a lady who's got a youngster cradling in her arms. So there you've got a vending machine and the water cooler, so you can have free water. Let's have a look at this departure sign. So again, here we are right up close to this sign, and it's eminently clear. No mucking about, this has been really nicely done, and it just gives you an idea of the quality of this product, the scenery. And there we are, looking across the airside lounge. I mean, the whole thing looks great. It's been very nicely done. We've got the doors open to the ramp here, so I would have expected an airline agent or something here to stop people walking out willy-nilly. But anyway, there you go. Very impressive, very nice indeed. And again, a close-up look at the advertising sign, and again, it's in high resolution, so it's very clear. Here you've got the little cafe. It's great. It's a nice little ambient scene, and it brings the airport to life a little bit. And lastly, we'll have a quick look at the Ryanair entry desk here, and again, you can see everything is really crystal clear. All of the details are crystal clear. They've left nothing to chance, even the signs on the exit doors going out to the ramp. So that's really impressive. Okay, so let's have a look at the control tower now. So we start with an outside view, and I think we've got evidence of parallaxing here on the building itself. I think this will probably look a lot better in the darkness hours, but we'll see. But as you can see, a nicely built and weathered building, complete with all the antennas and the air conditioning units on the outside of the building. Very, very nice. So here we can see evidence of interior modelling in the control tower. Let's pop inside. Okay, so as you can see, we were bumped up on the roof, so we can't enter the control tower, and there's partial interior modelling. I think it's all of a parallax nature, which is okay. That's maybe just a little bit disappointing. I had expected the control tower to be fully done. However, but here's the roof, complete with the antenna structure, air conditioning unit, and again we've got these lights that are a mandatory requirement at all Category 7 airports, international airports. Now I've just spotted this. This may be the smaller control. This is the meteorological building. That's why it is. You've got the meteorological tower. Let's have a look. Okay, there again we've got evidence of internal development. Let's see if we can get inside this one. And yes, we can. So this is a little confusing. This here has been modelled. Okay, no people, which is a pity. There should be at least one guy in here. But it looks like it's been modelled as a control tower, because you've got radar screens and everything here. Again, I'd like to see at least one person inside here. But if this is the case, we're not sure entirely which one is the control tower. When I look at the Navigraph chart, it shows the control tower as the big building we've just looked at, and it shows this as the Met building. But as you can see, it's modelled as the control tower. So this is the only confusing thing I think I've found, really. But nonetheless, nicely done. So there's the building from the outside, and here you can see the weather station down here where they take the samples. But I'm pretty certain this is the proper control tower, which matches the chart, and this is either the old tower or it's part of the Met station. Okay, quick pop out to the runway. There on the left you can see the windsock. I just want to have a quick look at the taxiway signs. You've got blue airfield edge lights, and it looks like you've got WIGWAGS. Yes, you have got WIGWAGS as well. Or entry guard lights, as the Americans call them, I think. So taxiway alpha, there's the runway markings, and WIGWAGS. Brilliant. So before we go to DUSK, let's have a quick look at the military area, because a lot of work's been done on that too. So you've got the southern access here to the military area. Here you can see the gate is open, and you've got a helicopter there, army helicopter. So we'll go inside here, have a look at a couple of things. Nicely buildings, really nice done here. Let's have a look at this. There's a model here. I mean, this is really nice, and I suspect this might be either a burial site or it's probably a memorial. You've got an aircraft here, you've got the cross, and you've got what look like here memorial stones. So this is probably a memorial to some people who maybe died in the Bosnian War. Again, I can't find any research that tells me what these are. But very nice anyway, very, very nicely done. Here you've got a Hind helicopter, it's a military helicopter, Russian helicopter. Some various army vehicles there too. Again, some nice army vehicles, nicely weathered, and the buildings. And yeah, lots of stuff here that make this a really nice product here. Very, very realistic. There's the Hind helicopter, quite nicely done. And as you look down this road, here you've got hangars, military hangars with military jets inside. So again, a lot to see and explore here. So let's do a low pass over this western side of the airport that is essentially military. There you can see more military vehicles and hangars to the left there. And light poles, so I wonder if they will light at night, we'll see. Again, some evidence of really nice modelling, helicopters here. Army vehicles, some really nice buildings. And as you can see, the drainage works has been done as well. So there's more evidence of the drainage works on the left side. Here's the VOR station. All in all, very, very nicely done. No complaints at all, really. Just a little confusion about the two control towers there. But it's nice, it's very nice. So that was your daytime tour. Let's turn the lighting down to dusk now and have a look and see what the dynamic lighting is like. Okay, just before 5:30 in the evening, local time. As I said, it's late February 2024. The lights came on just a couple of minutes ago, but here you can see the main civilian area. Blue airfield edge lights, no green centerline lights, but I don't think you really need them. And as you can see, some very nice subtle lighting around the central area. Let's get down to the ramp proper. So here you can see the terminal, and of course you can see inside it's well lit. Some nice subtle lighting, no asobo globes floating around, all really nicely done. So a close look at the terminal. And here, looking across the rest of the ramp, you've got some subtle lighting going on as well. There you've got some partial lighting inside this building here. And some nice subtle exterior lighting on this building too. And here you've got some gentle lighting on this building inside as well. When you're far away you can't really see it, but as you get close to it here, you can. Let's just quickly look inside here. And as you can see, the building interior is lit, but it just looks a little bit dark from the outside when you're farther away. And just looking north outside the same building. And here's the large hangar. Anybody who wants to park an aircraft in here, it's all nicely lit up for you, and it looks great. So just a little landside tour at dusk to have a look at the lighting here on the buildings generally. And it looks lovely, looks nice. I can't see any asobo globes floating, everything's lit naturally by the natural light. Very nice indeed. And even here, again you can see natural light, no asobo globes. It's very impressive. Here's the fuel area that we talked about earlier. Thought we'd have a little look. Got a couple of tankers there. Right, I mean they could be fuel drums, I don't know. Normally I'd expect to see some kind of hydrant system here, but there isn't. But no problem. So as we travel back in through the main gate, there's the control tower, landside. Now let's pop upside and see what we can see in terms of anything. So there you can see the inside, but it's pretty sparse. I think it looks like 1 or 2 chairs in there. Can't see any radar screens, although it's partially lit. But as I said, again, we can't go in. If we try to go in, that happens. But again, you've got a nice view of the tower. It's nicely modelled and the lights are excellent. It's nice to see those on top. And as we travel down, I can't see any interior lighting. So as we travel across to what might be the Met building, here's a different story entirely. There you can see parallaxing on the windows. And again, as we go close up to this tower, you can see radar screens, seating. So this looks like an operating control tower, but unfortunately no people inside. So just a little close-up look landside. As you can see, it's great. The lighting's lovely. It's not overdone. You've got the various signs there. It's a nice scene. So there's the terminal from landside. And again, all the light is coming from natural sources. No globes floating around at all. It looks really good. There internally, everything looks fine. And here's the Ryanair check-in. And here, bless her, we've got a flight attendant, a flight agent there sitting at the desk ready to check this guy in. And here you've got a little cafe as well. And just a view from outside of the building, airside looking in. I mean, it looks great. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. So a quick look across the taxiway here. You've got your blue airfield edge lights. And there you can see the WIGWAGS and the signage and the runway lighting is all perfectly adequate. And as we look to the north side, or sorry, to the west side here, you've got the military area, which is partially lit. Okay, so that was dusk. As you can see, the sunset is dropping quickly. Let's go to full night mode now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see, the lighting has come up a bit more. And looking at this view here, I don't think you're going to have any problems taxiing off the runway into the parking area. There's plenty of light, and it all looks pretty impressive. There in the distance, you've got the threshold of runway 16 here. This is the ILS equipped end, and here you can see the highway going off in the distance there too. So a close-up look at the ramp. I mean, not much difference from dusk, but you know, again, adequate lighting everywhere you need it. There's the hangar and the other buildings, and you can still see the ground markings as well for taxiing your aircraft in. As you get a bit closer, you can see the interiors of these buildings that are lit. The lighting looks better at night than it does at dusk. Actually comes out a lot more. Here's landside at night. Again, very acceptable. Just a nice little scene. So here's the control tower in the distance. Now you can see the lighting coming from the top. But I would really like to have this confusion kind of solved here. This is certainly the main control tower, but there's not much in terms of development. And strangely enough, the Met Tower, if it's indeed this is what it is, has been more developed. I would like to see control tower development if possible, just to finish it off. You really shouldn't be having this bit of confusion. You've got what appear to be 2 towers here. One's set up as a proper control tower but with no controllers and parallaxing on the building. But the main control tower here is hardly sort of built up at all. So I'd like to see this sorted out. It's the only real bug I've got about the scenery. Everything else is fantastic. And there's just an overview of the airport parking area at night time. It looks lovely. It's very, very nice. So there's the airport from landside, and if I've done this right, we'll bring the dawn up now and you should get the red glow of the sunrise. Let's see what happens. Okay, 10 to 7 in the morning local time, but the sun's come up behind us, and here you've got this really nice red glow that brings out the buildings and the whole airport scenery. It's very nice. And there we're looking towards runway 16 threshold in the distance. Here's the fuel area we talked about, and you can see the same beautiful glow on some of the military hangars on the west side of the airfield. And there's the sun coming up over the mountains in the east. Okay, back to daytime. Time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts. This is a bit of a steal, really. I mean, €9. Probably it's going to be about sort of 11 and a half euros, just under 12 euros. It's a steal for the work that's been done. They've done everything. My only real criticism here is the control tower issue. This certainly is the control tower according to the chart, but you can't go inside, and there doesn't seem to be much in the way of internal development. It's parallaxed at best, but not very well. Although the outside of the building looks great. It's the typical weathering and modelling you see elsewhere. And this, I believe, is the Met building. You've got the meteorological thing down here. According to the chart, this is the Met building. Or it could have been a control tower, but it's modelled as a control tower, complete with radar screens, but unfortunately you've got no people. So I'd like to see this issue sorted out. Either one of these is a proper control tower, and if so, I'd like it internally modelled with at least one controller. That's the only criticism I've got of this scenery. Apart from that, everything else, I mean, the road goes all the way out. He's done farm buildings off airport, which I leave you to explore. But the attention to detail, complete with weathering, everything has been done. It's great. It's a lovely little airport, and at this price, in my opinion, it's a steal. It's been beautifully done. So yes, thoroughly recommended. If you want the best, I think this is it. As I said, there is a freeware one on flightsim.to, which is good. No problems about that. But here you get, in my opinion, you get the best version of this airport. So there you are, folks. Banja Luka International Airport in Bosnia, Lima, Quebec, Bravo, Kilo. This is the payware version from Orbx, currently available from their site only. This is version 1, the release version. Download at 693 meg and installs at 1.35 gigs. The price, €9.09, which equates to roughly $9.84 US or £7.76 UK. Those prices are conversions from the Australian dollar, and they don't include tax or VAT, so you have to allow for that and allow for the variation in those prices depending on which country you're in. But even with tax and VAT, we're still looking at a bit of a steal. I mean, this is under a tenner for the UK, and quite a bit of work has gone into this. It's made a simple airport really come to life. It looks great. No hesitation in recommending it at all. So there you go, folks. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. If you've been wondering about this, I hope this review has helped you. And if Orbx are looking at this, all I would like you to do is to sort out this issue with the towers so we know what's what. And apart from that, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant scenery. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching. And to those of you who have supported my channel, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Have a great weekend, and look out for more videos next week where I will be reviewing some more scenery products for you. And hopefully we're carrying on with the world tour. So take care, guys. Thanks a lot. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, saying bye for now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.